You know, folks, the fact of the matter is, well, when it comes to fishing from the bank for crappie, my favorite bank situation is going to always be rip route. Rip route, no doubt. Rip route is made to order when it comes to bedding crappie in the springtime. Let me explain. In between the big rocks, crappie will bed right up and next to the bank, oftentimes. As far as depth, it depends on the water clarity. Sometimes you just have to fish a couple feet deep. Sometimes you got to fish 4 or 5 feet. Depends on the water clarity, like I just mentioned. What you're looking for is rip route that has sand and pea gravel. Either one is going to be suitable for crappie. You have more control, believe it or not, fishing from the bank, which is going to allow you to catch more crappie than if you were fishing from a boat, because you can be more precise in your presentation once you find out how deep the fish are. And there's a lot of different baits that'll work. You'll find out that a lot of times the smaller baits will work better. Whoa. Look here. Look, 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 look. There he is. Oh, that's not a bad crappie right here. He's stripping some drag. Look at this fish fight. Now he's doing some fighting. He's mad. When I stuck that hook to him, folks, it made him mad. Not a real big one, but we're using little bitty tackle. Little bitty tackle. Okay, come on up here, crappie. Look at there, what's in his mouth. A different toy for me to play with right here. And I'm going to tell you, folks, that's a size 10 hook, 1/100th of an ounce jig head. 1/100th of an ounce. That's a pretty little crappie right there. Now that's a male crappie. That's a male, about 10.5 inches long probably. Let's let him go right here. There he goes. He shook his head before he left. Well, good morning, folks. It's Richard the Fishing Machine. That was the first crappie. Pretty tight up against the rocks. And I've got me a new toy, like I said. This is a pintail Nico bait right here. It's a finesse bait. 1.9 inches long. Very tough, durable bait, just like all Nico products. There's no telling how many fish I could catch off of just one bait. Maybe 100 crappie, maybe more than that. Crappie, as y'all know, are soft biting fish. There's no telling how many. But anyhow, I have this rigged up on a 1/100th of an ounce jig head. That's extremely light. That's a size 10 hook, sickle hook, tied with a Palomar knot, because I'm using 2-pound test high vis vicious mono. I caught that fish about 32 inches long. I'm using a little bitty floater right there. I'm using a 6-foot Falcon light action rod and a little bitty Fluger President, the smallest one that they make. We're fixing to have some fun. Now the name of this color, and I have several different colors, is called Pepper Gum. Because it's overcast today, I felt like that would be a great color to use. And I'm fishing right on the outside edge of these rocks, right where it falls, drops off. So I'm keeping my jig by fishing parallel. I'm keeping my jig where the fish are bedding, which is right where the rocks stop and the bottom starts. And in this clear water, they're coming up a foot or so, maybe a little bit more than that, and eating it. You know, I don't believe I've ever shown this, but you know, a lot of people know this, some don't. But If you're wanting to fish out a little bit like that, loop your line around like that right there. Now what'll happen is when I'm working this bait back, it'll head towards the bank. Okay? And a lot of times that's where how I figure out what distance to fish, folks, to catch crappie. I'll loop that line back towards the bank. There's a fish. That's a bluegill. But let me do that again. Make that cast, let it hit, and then throw that line over that way. See, I've looped it over towards the bank. Now, instead of it coming straight to me, it's going to come towards the bank. Watch this. At a slight angle. Y'all see that? And a lot of times, if I can see real well, if I see it's an object or a target, a lot of times that's how I do it. I'll loop it in such a fashion where I can run that bait right by the target and then out, away from it. By throwing the line back the other way, now I'm coming out. So you can control where you're fishing. And from a bank, that's really important. To be able to practice that's really important when you're talking about fishing with a jig and a float. There he is, folks. Ooh, that's a big crappie. My. I want y'all to look at that. I hope y'all can see that fish. This is real clear water right here. This is on the other end of the lake. That's a good fish right there, big male. Big male. I knew these crappie would hit this bait when I seen it. All right, that little hook's holding. It's all about the rod, like I've been talking about when it comes to these hooks. If you got the right rod, you can use these tiny hooks and hold a big crappie. Don't let nobody kid you. Look at there, what a beautiful fish. Look how black that fish is. That's just a picture of health. Now that fish barely, if y'all look at that, can y'all see that? Barely was hooked. He barely nipped that bait, but he got caught nonetheless. That's a beautiful male right there. Beautiful male. He's real dark because he's spawning. Let's let him go. Let's let him finish his job. There he goes. Watch him right here. You're free. That's a good fish right there. Yeah, the only difference between flat water like I'm fishing right now and water that's got a ripple is that you have to impart action on the jig. I mean, obviously, but it don't take much with a bait like this that's as flexible as this bait. That's about all I do. I'll shake that rod tip like that and move it about a foot, let the jig settle back. That's all that's necessary. See, look here. Oh, I missed him. To get the strike. Now that was not a crappie. That was a bluegill. But still, it's same difference. See, it made a fish hit it. Just like that, about a foot, and then stop it. When I'm doing that and moving it, that jig is rising up a few inches. Now it's settling back down. And that's an irresistible way to work a jig when it comes to crappie, if they're halfway active, that is. Works real good, folks. I've caught a lot of fish by doing that. working it that way. All right, let's venture on up and see if we can catch another. We'll just walk on up a little bit. There he is, folks. Yeah, that's a good one. Stay buttoned. That's a good one right here. Boy, that fish is pretty in that clear water. Beautiful. I wish the sun was out. You talking about pretty. All right, you done? That's another male. Let's get right here and we'll lip him. He's a little bit too big to try to swing in here with that little hook. But using a bait like this, and I'll show y'all something. Look at there. Ain't that a pretty fish? Beautiful black crappie. Male. Let's let him go. I don't know where he went. He shot off like a bullet. But yeah, I want to show y'all something. This little bait is so thin. I'm gonna say it's not 3/16 of an inch in diameter. It's a little bit more than an eighth, I would say, at the fattest part. So that's the reason why using this small hook. And like I said, this is a size 10. A size 12 would suit it too. And that's what you go by on these little bitty tiny jigs like this. You don't want to have too big of a jig head hook in the bait that you select. Every once in a while, a bluegill, there's a fish. See what I'm talking about? I was fixing to say every once in a while a bluegill will hit it and I'll miss him, but I got that one. Little old bitty dude. Go on back. I mean, they'll eat it too. This bait right here catches a lot of fish. You're always getting a bite. And it would be an excellent bait to fish for bluegill and shellcracker when they're on bed. There's a fish. Missed him. That's just a little bitty bluegill, folks. I'm having to put up with that. This bait here is just made to order to get a lot of bites. There he is. There's a good one right there. Now that fish was on out just a little bit. Y'all excuse the noise. We're right here at the boat ramp, but that fish was on out. Oh man. He'll quit in a minute. I should go ahead and let me loosen up on that drag a little bit. This is a good crappie right here. Good fish. Okay, that's a great example right here of rod and reel and everything working for you when you have a tiny hook. This, I know this goes against crappie, anything in the book of crappie, but the fact of the matter is, if you've got the right tackle and if everything's balanced out just right, you'll land these fish. And this is a good one right here too. Doggone good one right here. Let's get right here and get him. Come here, boy. You're caught. You're done. Okay. Kindly up. One more time. Yeah. Kindly an awkward place right here to land one. But we did. Now that's a field and stream crappie if I've ever seen one right there. Okay. And he's got that little Nico in his mouth. Now he don't. I tell you what, folks, fishing's something else. There's so many different baits on the market right now. Some of them's good, some of them ain't worth the flip. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. So you just have to weed through the ones that's good and the ones that ain't. But this little bait right here, he is good for a lot of different reasons. It's tough, it's very flexible. It has the flexibility enables it to have the correct action. And I got a mess. I want y'all to look, but that's okay. This mess right here is the sport of fishing. Well, it ain't really bad. All I gotta do is bloop, bloop, okay, bloop. And this one's, I don't know how that, okay, bloop, 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 and then bloop once again, and I'm okay. Whoa. Okay, there's that adrenaline right here in front of all these people that's behind me. The adrenaline rushes is coming. Golly. Hey, man, the adrenaline rushes. Okay, look. Look, it's simple. 1, 2, 3, 4. Whoa. Hey, man. Okay. Okay, I'm going to try to hold it back. I'm just going to stand here just for a little bit. I got dizzy. I count that adrenaline rush. I like to went down right there, folks. Let's catch a dog. Just go. Another one. Woo.
We in the furrow, see, 400 of these up furrow across the tree, and I didn't know really what to do. So what I done, I run on out there and see if I could catch 2 or 3 of them, but I couldn't, because there's 2, you know what I'm saying, there's 2 or 3 in it. Okay, here's the ball.
Folks, I got rained out, but still it was a blessing to be able to go today. Didn't get to fish that long. The rain come a lot quicker than what the weatherman said it would, but still, we caught a lot of fish, and we caught them quick. I'm certainly impressed with this little bait right here. This is a very finesseful presentation, and at times, when it's warranted, presentations like that will get the job done when other baits fail, no doubt. But I'm certainly going to add it to my arsenal of baits because, and there's several different ways that I can think of to fish with this bait in situations and species. So we'll definitely see that bait some more. I want to say God bless each and every one of y'all. Thank y'all for all y'all do. Everything y'all do is appreciated. Guarantee you that. Hey, woo, doggone woo, woo, woo.
And remember, go fishing when you can, because it's good fruit.